Good morning, good morning. How are we all? Just loading up a replay for the first of the lobbies. Just going to check my audio as per normal. Just going to pause this and then we shall crack on. So then, let me just pause it there while I can just check my audio. Yep, all is good. Okay, so we are up and running with the Pro-Am 2 boys. I sound like Captain Kirk from Star Trek. I don't know why I've done it. It's too early in the morning to be doing this, but hey ho. I hope we all had a good evening last night, everyone. And not just the people from this league, but I mean from the other leagues as well. Hope we're all doing well. Us not displaying much driving skills will entertain people, and you can enjoy this race and the next one after it. So, without further ado, let's go to Pole Sitter Berserker Boy in his James Bond Aston Martin. In first place. Morning, he said. Morning. Morning, Idol. I haven't even had my first cup of coffee yet, and here I am, dedicated to the cause. My Audi coffee is right next to me though, so I'm ready to get going. Anyway, so Berserker Boy here qualified in first place. I'll be honest, I was really surprised that I qualified here. I absolutely loathe this circuit. I just do not like the circuit at all. For me, it feels like, and if you look at the map there at the top right, it's just one full lock turn to the after another, and then you got drag straights, as it were, in between, and it just doesn't dry. It just doesn't flow. Just don't like it. The only corner that's kind of like nice is the last one with that long sweeping right-hand turn down the start-finish straight, where you can't quite floor it from the previous corner to the end. You have to ease off just a little bit. But anyway, said about that, the better. So in first place we have Berserker Boy here. Second place for Team Samsung we have Quinn. Coroni here in third place. Jambo Awesome Pete here in fourth. Pilgrim here in fifth. Teammates here, fourth and fifth. The Darkest One here in sixth place. Spidey Team, the American, in seventh. Wimple here in eighth. Contain Score ninth. Rocky Rich 10th. Connor, surprised Connor was this far down, but hey ho, here in 11th, and same for Dr. Dre, he's back here in 12th. And Wooders in 13th, and Lega in 14th. So another big field for the runners and riders for the Pro-Am 2 boys. Let's go on board from Berserker Boy and look back to see if we can see anything going on at turn one, and we are lights out and away we go, as Crofty would say. Oh, nice start there from Jambo. Awesome Pete just moves across to see if he can get in front of Crony, and it's a tinted turn one, the hairpin. Berserker's cut one apex, cut another, and that just means Jambo. Here we go, Jambo side by side with Quinn now, coming down through the underpass to the 50p. It's called this section the 50p set of corners. Just not rounded to just. Oh, someone's going to go wide. There's Quinn going to go off. Oh, it nearly went off. Is everyone through the 50p section? No, they're not. Wimple there. Let's go back and have a look at Wimple. What happened with Wimple through the 50p section? Just with Contain Score. Close up there to Connor, just misses. Contain Score just comes across. Slight little contact there with Contain Score, but I think Wimple gets it wrong all by himself. Indeed he does. Pushes Gore off, and Gore manages to hold it. So Wimple's had a disaster. Oh, and Spidey Team's drifted wide. Oh, there's more. There's more action. Let's go back. someone up front in front of that as well came off. I think it was one of these two boys, Pilgrim or Crony. Gets it wrong at this hairpin. It's Crony. Crony drifts wide, just shoots off into the right hand side. Oh, disaster. Oh, everyone's falling off this racetrack like rats off a sinking ship. They don't want to stay on board, do they? Where's Wimple? All the way back here. So in the meantime, Berserker Boy is now cruising around in front of Awesome Pete, followed by Quinn, and Pilgrim's up to 4th. So we've boarded Pilgrim here, cockpit view, coming into what can only be described as a horrible chicane. Get the inside bit wrong and you literally take off. Nice tidy line there from these three boys. Oh, Pilgrim's ducking and diving, weaving and dealing. Looks like something's gone on a bit further back as well. Pilgrim's trying to undercut Quinn here into turn 1. We're still on board with Pilgrim here. Just Awesome Pete and the other Pete starting to stretch their leads out a little bit. Here comes Pilgrim up the inside. Is he going to try and get inside of Quinn? Oh, he does. But Quinn blocks him off there. Good driving from the boys. Rocky Rich trying to go around the outside of Connor. Connor's up to 6 now. There's a whole stream of drivers coming down here. Who else is back here? Widders, Lega. Oh, Crony. So Crony. Oh yeah, Crony recovered. He came off, didn't he? Let's go back up here now. See what's going on through the 50p. See if anyone else can. They can all stay on board the 50p this time. Widders getting a close view of the contained score there. Oh, gets it horribly wrong. Oh, I thought he was going to wipe contained score out. Coming down to the slowest hairpin now. Back up here, Dr. Dre's fighting with Gore. Gore's going to look up the inside. Tries to go up the inside, but Dre wipes his nose. There we go. Everyone's cleanly through again. Good stuff here from the pro. Oh, look like this. Let's go quickly. Oh, I didn't want to go that far back. Oh, nuts. Right, we'll go back. We were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fortunately, we were about here, weren't we? Yeah, that's where we were. We're just about here. I meant to do that button, not that button. That's the one I shouldn't touch. It's that one. Oh, Lego looks like he's lagging a little bit, unfortunately. I'm not sure if he's actually gaining on. Yeah, he is actually. He is this time. We're just gaining on Lego, going the outside, and Crony's now going to be fighting his way back through the field. He's got his windscreen wipers on for some bizarre reason, even though it's a bright sunny day. Oh, is that Wooders has gone off? It's kept it back on the track though. He's gone agriculture. It's just that Crony to go around the outside with Wimple on the inside. Here he is. There's Wimple. Oh, and there goes Wooders straight through the middle of the lot of them. That could have been disaster. Wooders nearly torpedoed 2 drivers near the back, but no, Wimple's managed to stick up the inside there of Crony. Can Crony just get in the inside of the 50p turn? Under the underpass. Under the pass. Tunnel! And then Crony gets back in front. So we go back up front now. You can just see. So Berserker Boy is cruising out in front at the moment on his own. He's already got a 2.7 second lead over Quinn. Quinn's got up to 2nd place. He's got ahead of Awesome Pete here in 3rd. Darkest one is up to 4th. Pilgrim is here in 5th. And then the gaggle of drivers. Connor's got up to 6th. Line astern. Let's come aboard with Rocky Rich here. Following Connor. Up to, we call this the terrible chicane. Looking quite tasty here. It's got a nice slipstream there. Connor, can he make it position on him into turn 1? Connor's gone a bit too wide there. I think Rich has got that corner just nice. He's not gaining, he's a bit too far away. Spiky team's dropped down to 8th. I missed that. Line astern at the moment. It's going board with Berserker Boy while I have my first cup of coffee. Sip of coffee, that is. line there from Berserker. Puff of smoke there. As he gets 2 wheels off the track. Still fighting hard to keep ahead of Quinn. As you can see, the Aston Martin on this circuit doesn't spend a lot of time at all going in a straight line. Well, apart from one of the dead straights, obviously, I mean. But it's always left, right through the infield section or something like that. Superb Bond livery on there. I could regale at how glorious that looks all day long, especially on an Aston Martin. Love the Sean Connery on the bonnet as well. Oh, a little bit of twitch out the back of Berserker's car. So that's the end of lap 4. Quinn has now got a bit more of a gap over himself and Awesome Pete here in 3rd place. Go through the tyres because this is also interesting for the circuit. So Berserker is on Racing Super Softs, starting lap 5. Quinn now on Racing Softs is in 2nd place. Awesome Pete is also on Racing Softs in 3rd. I can see someone ducking out further down the track. Darkest one Racing Softs, Racing Super Softs. And Pilgrim's got picked up a penalty. Here comes Connor Racing Super Softs. Spidey Team and Rocky Rich having a bit of a ding-dong mid-battle here. So Spidey Team making his way back up through the field. Rocky Rich dropping down to 8th. Dr. Dre 9th. Contains Gore is in 10th under the bridge tunnel. Legas still hanging on for 11th. Wimple's up to 12th. Crony's back to 13th. So Crony's had some sort of incident again. He's on Racing Hard tyres. Oh, and there goes Wooders again. Bins it into the... He's found a barrier that didn't have his name on it and decided to implant his face into it as he tries to regather himself. There we go. Crony on Racing Hards. And he's not pitted. That could explain why he's struggling so much compared to the other boys here. We'll have to keep an eye on Crony. Interesting tactic there. So let's see if we can find where the nearest battle is at the moment. Berserker's holding his lead over Quinn there in 2nd place. There's a bit of a gap now between 1, 2 and 3. So about 1.5 seconds each. 2 seconds perhaps. And Darkest one's in a comfortable 4th position. Leg is still trying to burn off his penalty. Everyone's spaced out. Not literally. Everyone's spaced out quite a lot. So down to 6 is a bit of a gap. 7th is a gap. 8th is a gap. 9th is a gap. 10th. 11th. 12th. Yeah, come on, boys. This is boring. We need some. There we go. Let's go back to Wooders. Have a bit of excitement. What happened to Wooders here? What tyres is he on? He's on Racing Softs as well. Where does Wooders get it wrong this time? Here comes Wooders now. Into the terrible chicane. Goes too wide. Smashes the barrier. Good crashing there. Nice form. Spins it round for extra bonus crashing points as well. Nice one, but nice one, Wooders. Good crashing. So, put your Bond music on. The theme music's going off in the cockpit of this car. This Berserker boy can't quite figure out how he's managing to do it with this Aston Martin leading yet another race in the Pro-Am 2 series. He's never raced an Aston Martin in an MRC season before. I think he might start thinking about using the Aston a little bit more if he's driving this well in one. Back through the field, see if anyone's caught up with anyone. Oh, the Darkest one's gone a bit wide, but then I thought Leggard's gone straight off then. Still not got rid of that penalty. He's on Racing Super Softs. Looks like Connor's just starting to reel him in a little bit. Lovely V8 popping sound there. Pushing it too much there, just manages to hang on. 2 wheels on a kitty litter. At that point of the circuit, could quite easily spin the car around. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? And giving Pilgrim so much screen time. a certain someone who will remain anonymous for now, but for the sake of this argument we will call them P1 Pilgrim, said the Aston Martin is a hideous car in the chat after the race. Doesn't like it at all. Well, you know what, Pilgrim, that's the last we're seeing of you this race. We're going to go on to someone else. How dare you diss the Aston? It's a beautiful car in every single aspect, racecraft qualities, looks, style, the lot. So you do not diss the Aston, especially to an Aston fan like me. So anyone that's watching it, Idle, I think it is, that's watching, one of the top 5 is going to... I agree with him. How dare you, Idle? How dare you instantly unsubscribe from this channel and never watch any of my streams again? How dare you diss the Aston? Anyway, Idle, one of the top 5 drivers is going to have a technical issue with their TV at home and lose their hard-earned results. Have a guess who you think it might be. Just scroll through them. Shouldn't laugh because I've done it as well. I'm gonna yes, indeed. I did the same thing. I do a Ride 4 series. If anyone's interested in Ride 4, there is an MRC Ride 4 series that I'm the host for. I did exactly the same thing. The TV went into auto turn off in the middle of a race, and yeah, I crashed because of it. Anyway, let's scroll through the race, see what's going on, see if we can find any battles. Because at the moment, if you look at the map, top right, 1, 2, and 3 certainly pulled out a gap between themselves and the rest of the field. But then there is a gaggle now starting to collect themselves here from 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then there's another gaggle of drivers. Dr. Dre, Contain Scores, he's doing very well. Contain Score. Contain Score's a bit ragged the first couple of races, but the yellow one behind you, that's Quinn. So your money's on Quinn. Okay, we shall see. Jambo, possibly Jambo. We still don't know who's going to finish 4th or 5th yet, so it was. I'm quite looking forward to see what happens towards the end of it. It could have been me. I mean, I made a rookie mistake as well. But I did it in the Ride 4 series yesterday, Thursday night. Not much going on at the moment apart from that little group of drivers collecting each other. Oh, Pilgrim's into the pits. Now then. Pilgrim, that's quite early on. Racing Superstars, his tyre wear wasn't too bad. And I believe he makes a rookie error here, Pilgrim, as you watch. Comes out, no, he's put Racing Softs on, as he put, yeah, he has put Racing Softs on. Quite an early pit stop there from Pilgrim. 13 minutes in. But a change of tactics from Racing Super Softs to Racing Softs, and you see he hits the barrier for good measure there. Did he get any damage for that? No, he didn't. So he's gone for a short stop, longer second stint, this Pilgrim. Keep an eye on him. It's Berserker myself there. You can see my front left is suffering quite badly. And it looks like Quinn's got a little bit closer. What is the distance between these two? The distance is 2.4 seconds between Berserker there in first place in the Bondmobile. That's what I call it. Call it Shirley the Bondmobile. Coming round now is Berserker, the race leader, going to be coming into the pits this lap now. Yep, it's going to dive in. Here's Berserker, the race leader, into the pits. We watch his team, his tie boys, swiftly get those tyres off. Back on, and Jambo's into the pits as well, and they're all coming into the pits apart from Quinn. Quinn has stayed out. Let's go on board with Quinn. Quinn stayed out in the underpass. Tunnel! Around the 50p section. Let's go on board with Quinn, see what his driving lines are like. It's 3 out of 3 apexes. Nice tidy line there from Quinn. Good driving there from Quinn. So he was 2.4 seconds, I think it was, ahead of Berserker Boy just before the pit stops. So stay on board with Quinn on racing softs. See where he comes. Is he gonna? I'm not sure if he pits this lap or maybe the lap after. His tyre wear's not too bad actually, considering. And then go through the field after this set of pit stops. Coming up the long mountain straight into terrible chicane. Oh, gets it just right. Nice right left there. Coming around now, does Quinn come into the pits? Here he comes. Yep, he's coming into the pits now. So, with Quinn going into the pits, oh, Berserker's just missed what seeing him go into the pits. Berserker, he's on racing super softs. Absolutely trying to put a really good outlap on his new set of tyres. Pushing hard, pushing a bit too hard there into turn 1. Manages to hold it though. And he's now got back out in front of Quinn. So the gap was 2.5. And it is now, it's a little bit more than 1.3 I have to say. Just wait until we get past his next timing checkpoint. Third apex is always the one that throws people off. So the gap is now 3.8. So Berserker's gained 1.4 seconds over that set of pit stops. It looks like Jambo's also caught up to Quinn a little bit. So that just by trying to stay out one lap too long has just allowed Quinn to lose a little bit of space and time on these two other boys, but still in second place. So we're going through the field. Pilgrim, remember, pitted the lap earlier than everyone on racing softs. Darkest one here in 5th now. Where's Connor gone? Spidey Team 6. Connor seems to have dropped back a bit further than I thought he was. In 7th. Lega's not pitted here in 8th. Crony's still on those racing hard. He's obviously trying to go for a no stop. His Crony. He still thinks it's wet for some reason. He's been harassed now from Dr. Dre, 9th and 10th. Fighting. Oh, Dr. Dre forces the issue through the second part of the terrible chicane. Also looks like Contains Gore is coming round to bundle Crony out the way as well. I'm not sure this tactic of Cronies is working. I'm pretty sure it was Lega's gone into the pits now. See, Dr. Dre's pitted, Contains Gore is pitted, Crony hasn't pitted. The guys in front of him won't have to pit, and he's dropped back to 10th place. I think his pace is just too far off. He's doing 140. It's his best lap time. He's just under 42 and a 41. It's Crony. That's Crony. He's fighting back though. He's missed that. Let's go back here. He's gone up the end side of Contained Score through to 50p. But this is where he's going to suffer because those racing hards just won't grip. He's missing the apexes there. So Contained Score has just got straight back at him. Just go back up the field and see what everyone's doing and go through their lap times. It's not showing me Berserker's lap time. Berserker is now 4 seconds in front of Quinn, and he's doing 38s, 41s, 39s, 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 pretty consistently under sub 40 apart from his last lap. It's Quinn here, similar sort of times, just touching into the 40s a little bit more. He's on Racing Softs. Jambo here, Awesome Pete in third, Pilgrim in fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, properly spaced out now. Darkest One is holding off against Spidey Team, so this is the nearest closest battle high up from towards podium positions at least anyway. So the Spidey Team is just slowly catching the Darkest One here. I'm confused with the Darkest One as well because he's got a Canadian flag on his next to his name. His car's got a Scottish flag all over the top of it. Nice tidy line there from Spidey Team. Consistent lap times as well, 40s, high 39s. He's definitely starting to reel in the Darkest One. Is he going to get quite... I'm going to get close enough at this hairpin down here. Oh, he might do. He's going to go around and outside, undercut underneath. Oh, the Darkest One's lagging a little bit. It's not going to make it easy. But here goes Spidey Team, the American on his Canadian neighbour. Down Mountain Straight, coming up to Terrible Chicane. The Darkest One's going a little bit defensive. Is the Spidey Team going to try and outbrake? No, he's not. Ooh, Darkest One. Again, that was lag. That must have been lag. Spidey's been nice and consistent. That helicopter, I have to say, is always a little bit too low. A bit off-putting for the drivers. But here we go. Spidey Team's got a nice run if he can hold it. Oh, he should get in the draft, driving pull straight out. Spidey Team gonna outbrake the Darkest One into turn one. No, not this time. Ooh, lag. Oh, nightmare for drivers behind someone with lag like this. Where's Connor? Connor's a bit too... Look like Connor got it wrong then. So Spidey Team probably could do himself a favour by getting in front of the Darkest One with the lag. It's very off-putting with the lag. Around 50p. Coming up to the S-bends. Call these the Schumacher S's. It's just lost a little bit of ground now into the hairpin chicane. And the Darkest One's just pulled away. So there's not a lot of action, I have to say. Not much crashing at the moment. Run through the field one more time. Berserker's still out in front, and he's now got a 4.3 second lead over Quinn here in second place. Here's Jambo in third. Everyone's Sunday afternoon cruise really for the boys. I know that is all put on his head for the next race. It was just one big go. And just when I thought nothing was going to happen, oh, excellent crashing there from Pilgrim, so good. We're going to watch that again. Pilgrim has been pushing the outside of the outside of the track before. We've caught him doing it, touching the kitty litter at the apex of the turn. He just gets it horribly wrong, smashes the barrier. He's going to smash the car again, and he's got damage most of the way around it. Tries to give more damage. Oh, bins it in spectacular fashion. He's trying to regain. Get the car back on the right way. Oh, look at that. He's got damage left, right, centre, all over. Top crashing from Pilgrim. Gets it wrong all by himself. Just allows Dr. Dre up to 6. I missed how Dr. Dre got up to 6. I think I might have done. I've been through the pit stops. Dr. Dre with his hazard lights on. Pilgrim gathers himself as he lost all of his damage now. Yes, he has. So Pilgrim slots back into 7th place. Lega in 8th. Connor's back to 9th. Crony's still hanging around in 10th. He was fighting with Contained Scores, so Contained Scores dropped back a little bit as well. There's Wimple, and there's Contained Scores. So Contained Scores had some sort of incident. Wooders has retired. So we're just down to 13 now. We've got 6 minutes to go.
Let's have a look and see whether. I mean, look at the map at the top right. 1, 2, 3 are way out on their own up here, and then we got 4 and 5 as close to each other. Spidey team just can't quite reel in the darkest one, and then the rest of the field are all line astern. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So the rest of the field are all trying to have a bit of a party with each other and forgetting the people up front. Berserker's not really had much problem with this race so far. Just 4.5 minutes to go. Oh, it's a bit wide there. Oh, he's missing his apexes, probably because his tyre's just starting to go off. Needs to be careful, as Quinn is still there, so one little error from Berserker could spell disaster for him. Jambo's just losing touch of Quinn now as well. So here we're back with the darkest one still holding off. Spidey team, oh, this looks a bit closer now. Spidey team's just on one of his best sector times as well. It's only 0.15 seconds off his fastest lap at that sector point. So he's still really pushing. Time is now running out. 3.5 minutes to go. Again, he's just a bit too far away from the darkest one at the hairpin. Coming around now. Can he get into position at the terrible chicane? Doesn't look like he will, but in the meantime, Dr. Dre here is holding off Pilgrim. There we go, that's what I wanted to go to. Pilgrim's, after his superb crashing, is starting to also find his legs. Pardon the pun, because his MRC leg are behind. Can he get his way past Dr. Dre? Dr. Dre, has he still got his hazard lights on? I think he has. Oh, Dr. Dre's taken too much curb. Surely he's going to get a penalty for that now. Surely, yeah, there's the penalty. Oh, unforced error there from Dr. Dre. Can Pilgrim take advantage of it? We're not going to find out because Pilgrim doesn't like Aston Martins apparently. So go back up here to Spidey team. Sorry, Pilgrim. Spidey team. Is he going to? He's still not going to find a way past the darkest one. He's running out of time. 2.5 minutes to go. Well, Dr. Dre's managed to scrub off most of that penalty and still be in front of Pilgrim. So that's key because he could. If he's just got a tiny bit to scrub off, and then he won't have to worry about the last couple of laps. Pilgrim's joined the party. Pilgrim's really close to Dr. Dre, and also the MRC leg has joined the party. So there's a nice battle brewing late in the race down here now as well. When is Dr. Dre going to get rid of that penalty for the last time? There it goes. The penalty's gone. He's got on board with Pilgrim. He's not in front, so Dre's managed to scrub that penalty off. Let's have a look at Spidey team. Spidey team's still stuck behind the darkest one. Oh, the darkest one's got that wrong though. Just going to scrub off a bit of speed there. Surely this is the moment for Spidey team to cruise up in the slipstream of the darkest one into turn 1. Here we go, on board with the American. Oh, the lag. The lag made that look worse than it actually was. Spidey team's finally up into 4th place. Is the darkest one going to undercut him? No, he's not going to make it. So Spidey team, great driving there for the American, is up into 4th place. But in the meantime, we need to give some credit to the boys up front. Oh, I saw some changing back here. What was that? This is the change. So yeah, Pilgrim has finally got in front of Dr. Dre. Go back to this a bit. We need to give some kudos to the guys up front. Although one of them is about to bin it and lose it big time because their TV goes off. But here go. At the moment, we've got Berserker Boy now coming up to the terrible chicane for the last time. There's only 20 seconds to go. He's not really had much. He's had a lot of pressure from Quinn to keep going at a consistent pace, but it looks like he's gonna win. get the Carly Simon national anthem, but nobody does it better. The Bond music will be playing loudly in this pit crew tonight as Berserker Boy wins again in another Aston Martin race. The Bondmobile wins for the second time. Here comes Quinn for third, and there goes Jambo. Awesome Pete at the last corner. His TV turns off and he bins it all by himself. Oh, disaster for Pete. He literally had to get it to go straight, or could have put it on autopilot. Oh no, Pete! Does he get damage? He does as well. So where's... He's in the barrier, furiously looking for his TV remote, going the wrong way, backwards. The Spidey team finishes the third. The darkest one is going to finish fourth. And Pete's stuck here in fifth. Oh, Pete, that's awful. This is going to drop down. Pilgrim the fifth. MRC Lega's going to be sixth. Connor's going to finish in seventh. Crowley's going to finish in eighth. Dre's gone into the pits. What was that? What was that all about? Why has Dre gone into the pits? So Dre's gone into this. Is a very strange ending. So Wimple's going to finish ninth. Dre's in the pits. You're going to finish 10th in the pits. Rocky Rich is in 11th. Contains Core. It's going to finish 12th. What was Dr. Dre doing? And poor old Pete, here he is, from third to last. Disaster. Disaster for Awesome Pete. Oh dear, we all feel his pain. I understand Pete being fuming. What was Dr. Dre doing going into the pits? Don't get that at all. So, there we go. That was entertaining. That was more entertaining at the end than I thought it was. Anyway, so let's go to race 2. Oh, it's not here, is it? Oh, this system's rubbish. There we go. So that's race 1 done and dusted. While we listen to some nice elevator music. Yes, Pete was not in the best of mood. Bless him. In the chat lobby afterwards, I suggested that we all have a group hug, a virtual group hug for him, because we've all been there, we've all done it. But binning it on the last corner when literally all he has to, even if it went off before, he could just go straight. He was literally just a few seconds away from keeping his third position. Disaster for him. However, what that did allow was for him to also then be up front, or near to the front anyway, for race 2, because here's the reverse grid now. We have Wooders in the Lambo in first place, he rejoined for the second race. Jambo, oh Pete, we feel your pain, mate, we feel your pain. In second place, Contains Gore. Actually had a great race last race, but missed what happened, but he obviously binned it somewhere and dropped back down the field to third. Rocky Rich here in fourth. Dr. Dre here in fifth with his weird pit stop. Wimple in sixth. Crony in seventh. Connor in eighth. MRC Lega in ninth. Pilgrim in 10th. The Darkest One 11th. Spidey Team got his first, I don't know if that's his first podium, perhaps, maybe, possibly. In 12th, Quinn in 13th, Berserker Boy 14th. Right, now before I crack on, I'm going to have to drink because there's a lot going on in this one. So just bear with me a second. I need to have a few drinks for this. This one was frantic all over the circuit, and I'm really not sure where to keep an eye on, who to keep an eye on for what. We shall start with, there's the Subaru driver, Contains Gore. Here we go, let's go and start with this Subaru driver, because we know Subarus get flying starts at the beginning of the race. Actually, I don't want to focus on me too much, but we are off at Dragon, and look at this Subaru of Berserker cutting through the field from 14th, he's up to 10th, pushing there for 9th, still in 10th place, trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on around. Oh, there's a bit of bumping there from Pilgrim and Dr. Dre, but Berserker's already got up to 8th place, the field flowing behind, and Connor's up in front. So the Subaru, look how much advantage the Subaru. Oh, a little bump there from Dr. Dre, pushes Berserker wide. So that's Berserker, so I get up to 6th place by halfway through the lap, but we can't just focus on me, because up in front at the moment is Connor in the Corvette. He's got up to 1st place. Let's have a look at Connor's start, actually, because Connor wasn't leading, was he? Where did Connor start? Connor started 5th. Gets a great jump on the drivers in front. As I thought, Contained and that Subaru would probably get up into the 1st place, but Connor forces his way through. Fantastic driving there from Connor. He's only 13 years old, and he's showing the boys how it's done here at Dragon Trail Seaside. Not Riverside, but Seaside. I shouldn't laugh at my own jokes. Oh, Contained Schools trying to come up the inside there of Connor. I know Connor's going to hang on now for... keep it in front. A nice hum there of that Corvette. Now floods its way through down the S's. Jambo, Awesome Pete's even though the Audi's really slow off the line, is hanging on to 3rd place behind Contained Score. Wimple in the Porsche is ahead of Rocky Rich and Berserker Boy, and oh, look at this Pilgrim, 3 abreast into the hairpin. Oh, Dr. Dre stuffs up the inside of Berserker there. Rocky Rich now, it's a 4th. Look at this gaggle of drivers. Oh, we've got the chicane of death. Remember chicane of death now. Oh, let's have a look. See if there's carnage back here already. Oh, someone's just gone complete right. Someone got that horribly wrong. Was that Dr. Dre? I think it was Dr. Dre. Look at this. Oh, Wimplegate gives Dr. Dre a bit of a nudge. Someone goes straight on. Oh, there's Wooders. Oh, great comedic value there from Wooders. He goes straight into the chicane of death. One more time from Wooders. Let's have a look. Oh, he tries to turn in, but there was a car there. It gave him a love tap. Shortest tap is completely wrecked in front of that Lambo. Oh, disaster for Wooders. Great comedy value though. Sorry, Wooders. In the meantime, Connor is out in front on Racing Super Softs at the end of lap 1. So Connor is in 1st place. Jambo's got past Contains Gore for 2nd. Gore is now 3rd. Pilgrim's up to 4th. Being harassed here from Rocky Ridge into the 1st chicane at the end of the start-finish straight. Doesn't quite manage it. Wimple there's fighting with Berserker Boy. Berserker's up to 6th place now. Nice clean move. And Berserker gets the Subaru through, and then we've got Quinn. He's got ahead of Dr. Dre and Crony. Side by side, there's Crony and Dr. Dre. Bumping and barging. Oh, bit of puff of smoke there. Difficult to keep an eye on what's going on. Oh, Dr. Dre was not happy about that. He he's flashing his lights at Crony. Not a happy Dutchman. Spidey Team's worked his way up to 11th. Darkest one 12th. MRC Lega 13th. And it looks like Wooders is retired. Oh, Jambo is in the lead. When did that happen? 1, 2, 3, 4. So when did that happen? On board here with Awesome Pete. Connor was quite a way out in front. Did Connor make a mistake, or did... Sorry, I shouldn't flick so much. Did Awesome Pete just drive awesome and catch right up to Connor? Oh, that's what happened. Connor drifts it wide. Oh, nearly collects Pete on the way back through, but Connor holds it just about. Just allows Awesome Pete to get in front. Oh, Connor will be fuming with himself. Contains Gore has now been harassed here from Pilgrim into this downhill horrible hairpin at the quayside. But Contains Gore is fighting back in the Subaru, but he's going to have to give way to Pilgrim. So Pilgrim's now up to third. There's Contains Gore. Oh, there's Rocky Rich and Berserker Boy side by side. Chicane of Life I called last night. The Berserker's now to fifth, side by side with Rocky Rich into the last hairpin. Good ball to Rocky Rich, see what he can do. I tell you what, the thing I struggled with this race, this is talking for Berserker Boy in the Subaru, you'll see it here. I could get in front of these Audis, but the Audis just would simply cruise up with so much power. They just kept chopping and changing positions with the Audis all night long. I just couldn't get away. Nice driving here from Rocky Rich, goes around the outside, gives Berserker a bit of space at the inside. Berserker's gone a bit agricultural, throwing that Subaru around. Luckily it's a 4x4 car, so you can get away with it. Oh boy, Rocky Rich, and you'll see now Rich drove a really good race. It's just going to catch right back up to the back of the Subaru. The Subaru just doesn't quite have enough mid-range grunt. It's got top speed, it's got great acceleration, but it's just like it takes too long to get up to the top speed. So here we are with Rocky Rich now, cruising back up to the tail end of that Subaru. Thinks about diving up the inside at the quayside hairpin, but doesn't quite make it stick. So Quinn's back in a McLaren, he's joining the party. Wimple's still there in a Porsche, and Crony in another Audi. So everyone's kind of like line astern. I wouldn't say everyone's stopping each other. Oh, it's the chicane of life, as Ida would put it. Line astern here. So now let's go back up front again. See what's. Oh no, let's not. Let's look at Quinn. Quinn's dived up the inside there. Oh no, stay where we are. Oh no, I don't want to go that. There we go. Crony and Wimple now side by side coming down the start-finish straight. Oh, 5 minutes in, and it feels like there's been more action going on in this race than there was the last one. On board with Wimple, of course, see Crony and Rich up in front. Oh, no, something happened here. I think something happened. I remember this. So here we are on board with Rocky Rich and Quinn, both diving up the inside there, and both of them bundled Berserker off the track. Everyone diving into the hairpin, 3 cars into one, and there was no space for Berserker. Pushed him wide. Fortunately, the 4x4 the car kept him on. Quinn backed off. Fair play, Quinn. Nice driving, nice respectful driving, Quinn. Quinn backed off for that and loses loads of positions for it. Let's go forward, Quinn. While I have another sip of drink. Oh, lovely driving there from Quinn. He's caught right back up to the tailpipes of the Wimple in the Porsche. Is he going to outbrake him? Let's have a quick look. Yep, it's outbroke Porsche. But Wimple's going to undercut the McLaren. Side by side now. Ooh, Wimple gets sideways through the entrance. Oh, what's happened to Quinn? Oh, Quinn's in front. Kind of like missed that. Didn't see that. Let's have a look at that again. Didn't really see what happened there. I think Quinn and the Porsche. Oh, that's where neither would give way between Wimple and Quinn, and it just forced Quinn into the area where you can see there's been given a penalty for it. I'm also looking for. There's Crony. So Crony's made his way up through the field. He's Rocky Rich ahead of him, Berserker Boy behind. Contain Score's still driving really well up there in 4th place, but he's now been caught by Rocky Rich. Rocky Rich is up to 4th. Is he going to bring Crony with him? Yep, here comes Crony. Coming up now to... Oh, puff of smoke there from the boys. Crony's trying to catch up to... This is what it was like all race long, from about 4th down to 9th. It was just ding ding, ding dong all the time. It was frantic. I was... Go on, Pedro. I was exhausted by the end of this race, I have to be honest. It was like this for the entire... We were only 8 minutes in and I was knackered already. In the meantime, here we go. So, here's Berserker Boy now. He's got up to this party. On board with Berserker in the Subaru, following the other Subaru. 8 minutes in. Is Berserker going to try and outbreak Contain Score here? Did he touch him? I remember this. I wasn't sure if I touched Gore or not, so I eased off. I'm going to show it here. Yeah, tiny little touch. So I eased off here. Waiting for Gore. Where's he gone? There he is, and just let him get back his position. In the meantime, here's Quinn in the McLaren. He's got past Wimple. There's Wimple, who's now been joined by Spidey Team. No one's doing much. Oh, there's chicane. Oh, what the? Oh, that was a weird and wonderful line to the chicane of death. Wimple's looking to fight back underneath Quinn. There he goes underneath at the last hairpin. Makes a clean move on Quinn. Quinn with the penalty now can't re-overtake. So he needs to scrub that penalty off as soon as possible. And he's got Spidey Team catching him really quickly. There he goes. Quinn's realised he was going to catch Wimple there. Wisely tries to scrub that penalty off. He's still trying to scrub it off. You can see he could have made the move there. Fair play, Quinn. Nice driving. Let's go back up front. I can see something brewing up here. So Crony and has got past Rocky Rich. I do want to go and sit the other guys up front, but they're on there having a battle of their own. 1, 2, 3. A little bit spaced out. And not much going on there. The action for this race was all here. Between, as I say, 4th down to 9th is where the action... Look at the map at the top right. We go back up to the boys up front. Can't really forget. Awesome Pete here in 1st place. Got a bit of a gap over him. So, oh no, himself a Connor. Connor's picked up another penalty. Pilgrim though, he's catching Connor. So they're still quite close, these boys. 1, 2, 3. But then here we go from Crony, Rich, Berserker Boy, Taines Gore, Wimple, Quinn, Spidey Team. The darkest one, they're all there or thereabouts. 4th down to 11th. Oh, I thought darkest one was gonna smash the barrier then. Someone got it wrong. Yeah, Wimple. Let's go back to what Wimple did. He seems to go really slow at the exit here of the chicane of death. It's gonna, here we go, slams the barrier and just allows Quinn to get back past. Quinn obviously has got a penalty then, he has overtaken, but he can't really slam the brakes on at that speed when someone's got it wrong at the exit and is in the process of crashing. So who's where now? Spidey, look at this, down to 11th, 4th to 11th. Crony now, still being harassed here from Rocky Rich. Try not to flick so much, it's going bored. So it's starting to calm down a little bit, and while it's doing that I'm going to have another drink, hang on a minute. Oh, there we go. Right, so fourth down to we're 11.5 minutes. So this pit stops are oh, that's a lot of curb that Rich has taken there. Pit stops will be happening in a couple of minutes or so. In the meantime, I missed it. Do apologise. Let's go back up here. Jambo's in first place. Pilgrim's, oh, he's pushing it a bit too hard there. Pilgrim has got in front of Connor. Connor's still got that penalty though. He can't retake. Went to last hairpin. Scrubbed off 100th of a second there. So these boys pretty static up front now. Pilgrim is starting to pull away actually from Connor. So here's your 1, 2, 3. And then Crony in fourth. Rocky Rich in fifth. Berserker's in sixth. It looks like he's caught up to the back end of that Audi. Berserker's just on his fastest lap as well. 1:47.1. Oh, goes around the outside. Goes around the outside, does Berserker. Oh, don't remember doing that, if I'm honest. I've forgotten about that completely. Goes around the outside. I think I just left the brake in far too late then. Goes around the outside of Rocky Rich. He's now got a fourth place in his sights. Can he pull away from Rocky Rich? So 4, 5 and 6, it's just a little group pulling away from each other now. There's Quinn in 7th. Contain scores 8th. Darkest one 9th. He's been caught by Spidey team 10th. Let's go aboard the Spidey team. Someone's pulled up at the start finish straight as well. Where are they pitted? Looking at the map at the top right. Anyway, the darkest one gets a little bit of distance between himself and Spidey team in the big Merc. Spidey team. These two are at it in the last race for most of the race. Oh, Spidey team having to suck in a bit of rubber, burnt rubber then from the darkest one. He brakes heavy under pressure. I always hold my breath going through that section. Oh! Whoa! Slightest little mistake there. Good driving for the Spidey team, managing to avoid the darkest one up front. So as you can see, the boys coming in to the pit stop. Let's go back a second because there's something I want to show you which went wrong for someone during the pit stops. And this is what happens when you diss the Aston Martin. So the race leader's into the pits. Here comes Pilgrim into the pits on Racing Softs. This is karma for dissing the Aston Martin. He was on Racing Softs. He's gone out on Racing Mediums. Absolute disaster for Pilgrim. He's got that completely wrong in his pit stops. Possibly has thrown his chance away now of winning this race by making that error. Karma for not liking the Aston Martin. In the meantime, back here we've got Connors now. He's pitted. He's dropped all the way back. He's dropped all the way back again. Crony's not pitted. Berserker's not pitted. Oh, that's why he's dropped back, because these boys haven't pitted yet. Oh, Berserker's gone very wide here. Connor has pitted. Oh, I've just said that. Connor has pitted. And these two boys have, these three boys, Rich hasn't pitted either, has he? As Connor's just starting to ease away now in that Corvette up front. Once we've when we've had all of the pit stops from everyone, we shall go through the field. As Crony looks like he's gone a bit wide. Yep, it's just allowed Berserker boy here to catch up. And there's staying with this bit for a reason, because unfortunately something's about to come up. Oh no, it's not here, is it? Berserker eased off then through the bust, the chicane of death. He's trying to go around coming up the inside here of Crony into the last hairpin. Does manage to make it stick. Also, you can see there's also Quinn has caught up to his gang. So, Berserker, Crony and Quinn. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Berserker's, Crony's, Quinn. All go into the pits at the same time. Rocky Rich has stayed out. The darkest one into the pits. And now they come back out line astern. Let's go on board with Quinn here. Do like the cockpit view of the McLaren. As you can see, Berserker's gone defensive there from Crony into this first chicane. The only trouble with the McLaren is, if you can see, when you're on full lock left and right with the steering wheel, it blocks your view. Look, you can't see what you're going. The design flaw there from McLaren. The actual where you're focusing on the road is covered by your hand. Anyway, let's go back up front. Awesome Pete, after 17 minutes, the disaster of last race of being third down to last. Seems that at the moment he's making up for it. He's got a... Guess how much is his lead here? 5.4 second lead over Pilgrim in second place. Is he still on racing mediums? He is still on racing mediums. He's doing well. Let's face it, he's doing very well. I don't know if he's going to try and pit again or just stick it out with the racing mediums. I can't remember what he's done, but it's just going to allow Connor on racing super softs to probably gain back up to Pilgrim. Oh, there's going to be tension in the pit crew tonight, as Pilgrim's going to have words with his pit team for putting racing mediums on. Rocky Rich finally coming to the pits, 18 minutes in. So here comes Lega. In the meantime, this group's still battling it out. Here we go. Round 11 into the first chicane. Oh, Crony backs out. Berserker's gone wide, kind of cuts up underneath. Quinn forces Berserker wide again, but they all keep it together. Quinn and Crony now side by side. This little sharp right. Finally, Berserker's out to fourth. Can he start to pull away from these boys? Oh, they're still fighting. They're trying not to hit each other. Who's out in seventh? Rich has come back out in seventh. Behind. Quinn. Oh, Connor. Crony. Desperately trying not to hit each other. Hopefully these two boys squabbling. Just allow Berserker to pull away a little bit. McLaren versus Audi. Quinn trying to outbrake the Audi into the quayside hairpin. No. Doesn't make it stick there. Into the chicane of death. Ooh, Crony scrubs a bit of his car on the sidewall. But they're all cleanly through. So, pit stops done. Let's go through the field now. So, in first place, with 10 minutes to go, Awesome Pete out in first place. Pilgrim has been caught by Connor. Oh, Pilgrim must be cursing his pit team. Pilgrim in second place. I think it's just a matter of time. Here we go. Before Connor is going to get that position and then start to just pull away from Pilgrim. You can see he's desperately trying to hang on to the second place, doing everything he can. But there we go. Connor's cleanly got the position. So Connor's now up to second place. I'm pretty sure he's going to start pulling away from Pilgrim in third. In the meantime, Berserker's dropped back down to fifth. It's been caught by Crony side by side through the fast left and right over the hill section, side by side through this section. Still side by side. Audi v Subaru. Coming down to the quayside chicane. Berserker looks up the inside, bails out of it. Oh, Quinn's now looking up the inside of Berserker. Where's Quinn? No, that's the view I wanted. Oh, Quinn forcing Berserker a little bit. He forces his way through. So Berserker's back now down to 6. That's Rocky Rich trying to join the party a bit further back. Here's Rocky Rich in 7th. Trying to catch up to the party in front of him. Contain Scores still running around in 8th. Spidey Team's here in 9th. Wimple's 10th. Darkest One is 11th. Lega's 12th. And Dr. Dre's pitted and staying in the pits for some reason. Not a good night for Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's in the pits. So Wooders has left and Dr. Dre's in the pits. Not sure what that was all about. So Connor, now he's in front of Pilgrim. He's going to start to pull away, I suspect. Still good tyre wear. Pilgrim could have been pushing for the lead. Oh, Berserker was off the track then. What was that all about? Let's go back. Oh, look at this. Oh, let's go back a little bit, see what happened here. So Berserker, it's quite a way off the pace here. Oh, I remember this bit. Quite a way off the pace here as Crony and Quinn come together at the hairpin. Sorry, the chicane, and Berserker tries to cut through the two of them like a knife through hot butter. No, a hot knife through butter even. And then Crony gives him a little nudge. Nearly off the track. Berserker manages to slide the Subaru into position and keep it there. Crony's still got his windscreen wipers on. Was Crony the one who had his windscreen wipers on in the Aston race as well? I think he was, wasn't he? What is it with him and windscreen wipers? In the meantime, it's Rocky Rich is closing in on this group. Crony's now flying straight back to Berserker Boy. Berserker's still got the inside line. He has still just got the racing line. It's just about going to hold it here, I think. Yes, there we go. Or not. Or not. Oh no. Oh. Crony's still side by side with Berserker coming through the chicane of death. Berserker backs out. Crony gets it wrong and smashes into the barrier. Oh, Crony's thrown it all away. Let's go back and watch that again. So side by side through the first bit of chicane of death. Crony just gets his braking far too wrong. Smashes the barrier. Sure, he's got damage. Yet the front end of that car is wrecked. Oh, disaster for Crony. So now, let's go back up to Berserker. Has he got a bit of a gap over Quinn? No, he hasn't. These three still fighting. Oh, Quinn gets that far too wide. Oh, holds up Rocky Rich. So Rich has now got up to 5th place. To start down the start-finish straight again. So back through the field. So Crony's now cursing himself back in 7th. Spidey Team in 8th. Contain Score is 9th. The Darkest One 10th. Wimple and Lega here in 11th and 12th. Border Leggers, he's trying to go up the inside here. Wimple into this first chicane, side by side. Wimple, nice clean move there, gets through. Whew, so 6 minutes in. Let's go back up to the front. Awesome Pete got out in front of the race early on and has not really had any sort of issues. He's pulled out a sizable lead now between himself and Connor, who's in 2nd place. What's the gap? 9.5 seconds between Awesome Pete, making up for the last race technical difficulties. He's got 5 minutes to go as he crosses the line now. Begins lap 15. Here's Connor. Oh, Pilgrim is coming into the pits. Racing mediums just aren't doing it for him. He's going to be throwing some spanners around that pit crew tonight. Where does he come out though? Where's Berserker? There's Berserker's just coming around now. As Pilgrim comes out the pits with his super softs on now. Still in third place. Where's Berserker? Can Berserker see Pilgrim at all? Just outside, he's just come around the corner. So Berserker here in fourth. Oh, Quinn and Rocky Rich are still at it. Quinn's got up to fifth place. Gets past. Let's have a quick look at that again. Ball from Quinn. So he's got a nice slipstream here. That's quite a bit of. That's quite a dark. Well, it's not a dive. Lungish. But Rich gave him plenty of room there. So that's all well and good. These two squabbling now. Hopefully he's just allowing Berserker just to slightly pull away. So anyway, these two are 5th and 6th. Crone is trying to catch back up to 7th. Still with his windscreen wipers on. Spidey Team's had a nice solid race in that Merc in 8th. Darkest one 9th. Contained scores now down to 10th. Because he's being caught by Wimple here. MRC leg at 12th, so Dr. Trey's 13. Yep, that's all he thought there was 14. So 4 minutes to go. Let's spend some time with Awesome Pete cruising around. I do believe this is meant to be the Croatian. This is based in Croatia, this circuit. I think that's what my research on this track was. Hence the seaside and the craggy hills in the background. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that. So let's see what kind of lead Awesome Pete's got. He's got a 9-second lead over Connor. Here's Connor in second place. Connor's got 10-second lead over Pilgrim. Oh, and Rocky Ridge has got back in front of Berserker Boy. Let's have a look, see what happened there. So Berserker Boy was in 4th here. Sorry about the flicking. Oh, what was that all about? Let's go back. So Quinn actually lunges a little bit there up the inside of. Oh, I didn't see it from that view really, did we? Let's go back again. Oh, well, with Quinn, I think he just gets his braking point slightly wrong, which launches himself into the rear end of that Subaru. Bosh! Pushes Berserker wide, which is just stops his momentum and allows Rocky Rich to get back up into 4th place. Quinn now in 5th. I have to be honest, by this point in the race, I'd had enough. I was just wanted the race to be over. It was just, I was exhausted from all of this constant battling with these boys. It was great stuff, I have to say. Oh, Rich, what was that? I've forgotten about that. Rich went really slow then. What was that all about? So Rich was in the lead. Let's go on board. Gets it horribly wrong, a bit too fast there. To get gear change, you just need to ease off a little bit. Just allow me. Look at the back end of my Subaru. Quinn, all damages will be paid for, Quinn. Back end of my Subaru is battered there. But Rich now in 5th place, Quinn again in 6th. 2 minutes to go. Don't want to stick here because I want to go back up front, but I just wanted the race to be over at this point. Look at that, you can't see where you're going, McLaren, because of your stupid steering wheel. Quinn's got a nice run here on to Rocky Rich, coming up to the quayside hairpin. It's got the position. Where's Rich? Where's? Yeah, there's Rich. Rich driving ever so well. Is everyone going to get through the chicane of death? Okay. Yeah, ooh, everyone's through the chicane of death. Okay, so with a minute and a half to go, here comes Awesome Pete. quite a long way around the circuit, around the circuit, so he's probably going to have another lap with a minute to go. Or is he? He's in first place. A great drive here from Awesome Pete. Hopefully makes up for the disaster of the last race. Connor, superb drive from Connor. Pilgrim, oh, disaster for Pilgrim with the pit crew. He's going to have words with them. And then you've got this Gagler driver still fighting. I could have stuck with these three whole race. As you see, Crony's caught back up in the background as well with 30 seconds to go. But here we are now. Where is Pete? He's coming up to the quayside hairpin and coming around now to the chicane of death. This will be for the last time. 13 seconds to go through the chicane of death for the last time for this evening. Anyway, still pushing hard. Softs on that front of that Audi, not looking too clever now. But it's had a quiet race in the end for Pete. Great driving for Team Red Bull, I think it is. It's got a big lead over second place. And congratulations, Pete. 30 minutes are up. Crosses the line now for a win for Awesome Pete in first place. Here comes Connor. Superb drive for Connor as well. Had a bit of issues, came off once or twice, but has managed to stick it together for Team PlayStation in second place. Here comes Pilgrim. He could have been third. Might have even been able to push Awesome Pete, but if it wasn't for that pit stop error. And Berserker is going to have an eventful race, and you can see the boys behind him. Berserker's going to finish in fourth place. Here we got Quinn and Rocky. Let's go back to see how these two finished at the last hairpin. Let's go with Rocky Rich. Rich is right up the inside here of Quinn. Rich has actually got fifth place, but doesn't get the power on quite as cleanly as the McLaren does. So Quinn is going to finish in fifth. Rocky Rich is going to finish in 6th. Crony is going to finish in 7th. Here comes Spidey Team. Another respectable driver there for the American is in 8th. Wimple is going to hang on over MRC Lega for 9th. MRC Lega 10th. The Darkest Ones just hanging on in front of Contain Score for 11th and 12th. And Dr. Dre was 13th. And there you have it. Another week over and done with. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Take it easy, stay safe everyone. See you later and bye bye.